One of the biggest challenges we face as parents is sleep deprivation. Now, when I was pregnant, people constantly said to me, "You're going to be exhausted after giving birth, sleep deprivation is like torture." I'd never really experienced exhaustion before, so I didn't really understand what they meant. It did make me feel a little bit anxious, but I did think, oh, I've been really tired in the past. I've gone out to a nightclub until 3 o'clock in the morning. I've had 4 hours sleep and then I've had to go out to work the next day. That is not the same thing as sleep deprivation as a parent. We can lose up to 700 hours of sleep in the first year of our baby's lives. So if you sleep for 7 hours a night, usually, that's the equivalent of you losing 100 days or 100 nights of sleep within the first year of your baby's life. That is a lot of sleep to lose. And sleep deprivation, yes, it can feel like torture. You can feel like you're losing your mind, and you can get so anxious at night time. I did, especially, thinking, oh, it's going to be another night of me feeling exhausted and having to get up to feed, change and settle my baby. I did struggle with it, but then I was lucky to learn some amazing tips that helped me to deal with sleep deprivation more effectively, so I didn't feel like I was completely going crazy. So I'm here to share my top tips with you today, in the hope that these tips will help you if you are struggling with sleep deprivation with your baby. So before I get started, I just wanted to point out that this isn't a magic wand technique. I can't solve sleep deprivation for you. What I can do is share tips that are going to help you to manage feeling exhausted. There are certain things that you can do to look after yourself better so that you don't feel quite as exhausted on less sleep. So let's get stuck in with my top tips. When you're tired and sleep deprived, your body experiences a hormonal imbalance and you're more likely to crave high fat, high sugar and high carb foods. Leptin is a hormone that regulates feelings of hunger and regulates fat storage. But when you're tired, your leptin levels drop, making you feel hungry for junk food even if you don't really need anything to eat. Also, the hormone ghrelin increases and that boosts appetite and fat production. Now, the problem with sleep deprivation and an imbalance in these hormones means that your body craves unhealthy junk food, foods that are going to cause a sudden spike in your blood sugar levels. Sleep deprivation and exhaustion make you more likely to eat things like chocolate, lots of bread, cakes, pizza, sweets, and cookies. And the problem with eating these foods when you're tired actually makes you feel more tired and sluggish in the long run, and that makes sleep deprivation even harder for you to deal with. So if you are really struggling with sleep deprivation at the moment, you're best off starting your day eating a savoury breakfast, because that means that you're not going to crave sugary foods quite so much. So starting off the day eating something like scrambled eggs and smoked salmon on toast is a good option. And also, when you are craving fatty or high sugar food throughout the day, you're best off eating some lean protein or opting for things like a banana, a fruit smoothie, a vegetable smoothie, or eating slow release carbohydrates like oats, quinoa, sweet potatoes and those kinds of foods. I'll list in the video description box below the types of foods that are going to help to keep your blood sugar levels on an even keel so that you don't struggle with sugar peaks and troughs, which are going to make you feel more tired. And then if you incorporate these foods into your diet, you're more likely to be able to get through your day feeling less exhausted. My next tip is to get outside in the daylight every morning if you can, because this regulates your circadian rhythm, which is your body's awake and sleep cycle. Whilst you may be awake every night to attend to your baby's needs, you need to shut off the production of the hormone melatonin during the day. This will help you to fall asleep faster at night time, even if you do get woken up. Daylight is 10 times brighter outdoors than indoors, so if you spend a lot of time indoors with your baby during the day, you won't be completely shutting off the production of melatonin, which will make your body and mind feel more tired during daylight hours. Another problem with staying indoors too much during the day is that you won't be producing enough of the hormone melatonin at night time because your body will have been producing more of it during the day. And that means that if you're up with your baby during the night, you'll probably find it harder to get back to sleep and stay asleep after you've settled your baby. And that will mean that the next day you'll feel more tired because you haven't maximised the amount of sleep that you could have potentially got during the night. So I recommend that every morning, no matter how tired you are, come rain, wind or shine, try to get outdoors for 30 to 40 minutes at least. You'll feel better, less tired, and it's just good for your overall well-being. And this leads me on to my next tip, which is about the importance of exercise. So whilst I don't recommend that you engage in any strenuous or intense exercise, especially if you're sleep deprived, getting out with your baby in the pram or a baby sling each day is going to be good for your health, it's a mood booster, and it's going to help you to sleep better at night. Now I just want to point out here that I don't want you to engage in exercise every day until you feel properly recovered from birth. So say for example you've had a C-section and your scar tissue hasn't fully healed yet, I wouldn't be recommending you to go out every day for a walk with your baby in the pram. If you feel up to it, of course, go for it, but you have to be guided by what your body is telling you is best. If you feel like rest is more important, please don't go out and exercise until you feel fully ready to do so. After giving birth to my daughter, it took me about 2 to 3 weeks to feel able to do some sort of exercise. I started off slowly doing 2 20 to 30 minute walks every day with my daughter in the pram or the baby sling. Then when I felt more able, I joined a pram active class in my local park. So I took my daughter along to the park in the pram. There was a teacher there were other mums there, and we do a speed walk around the park. I got to socialise and chat with other mums, and we also did some toning exercises like squats and lunges, that sort of thing. And then usually afterwards we'd all go to a cafe and have a piece of cake and a cup of tea or something. So that's something that I would recommend that you search for to see if it's available in your local area. But there might also be other activities available, like a baby sling class where you go along to a community centre. There's lovely music on, there's a teacher, and you do have your baby in the sling and do exercises with your baby. There can be baby Pilates classes, baby yoga classes and things like that. So do check out what's available in your local area and see what you're open to trying. One great benefit of doing daily exercise is you build up what's called sleep pressure. And sleep pressure is something that helps you to get more restorative sleep, even if you get woken up during the night. The more sleep pressure you can build up during the day, the better quality your sleep should be at night, which will help you to survive on less sleep as a parent. Another great way of dealing with sleep deprivation so that you feel less tired during the day is incorporating breath work into your routine. So ordinarily, when we feel tired, we do a lot of shallow breathing, and that causes tension and stress build up within the body that then makes us feel more tired, but it also stops us from fully oxygenating our body. And if your body's not fully oxygenated and optimal blood flow is not flowing around your body, that's also going to make you feel more tired. So on days when I was feeling particularly exhausted, I would factor in 2 minutes of mindful breathing 5 times a day. So just 10 minutes of deep breathing every single day. So I'd usually set a reminder on my phone so that I remember to do the breathing, but sometimes I would remember without the reminder on my phone. It depended how tired I was. But what I would do is just sit in my living room, on my bed, or if I was out at a cafe or something, just sit there quietly, holding my baby, or baby would be in the pram. I'd close my eyes and I'd take deep breaths in through the nose and then breathe out through my mouth for as long as I possibly could. And I'd just repeat that breathing cycle over and over again until my 2 minutes were up, and then do that again another 4 times. That will oxygenate your mind and your body better and make you feel more energized and revitalized. And for me, focusing on my breath was one of the best ways of surviving sleep deprivation because I always felt better and I always felt more awake after doing the breath work. My next tip is to be cautious with caffeine. So as parents, when we're sleep deprived, we can crave coffees, cups of tea, and we can want to drink it constantly to help us to stay awake and feel more energised. But caffeine is a stimulant. It causes adrenaline release. It interferes with sleep pressure build-up, and it takes up to 10 hours for caffeine to exit your bloodstream. So if you're not breastfeeding and you're happy to drink caffeine to give you a little boost, try to keep your caffeinated beverages to the morning. So don't drink any coffee or tea, etc. after midday, because if you're going to be going to bed at 9 or 10, the caffeine won't have exited your system until 10 hours after having your last caffeinated drink, and that can interfere with getting to sleep and getting good quality sleep when you actually are able to sleep during the night when your baby's sleeping. So be cautious with caffeine, drink it before midday, and also make sure that you're focusing on staying hydrated. So make sure that you're drinking 8 to 10 glasses of water per day to help to counteract the side effects of any caffeinated drinks, and to also ensure that you're giving your body as much hydration as it needs, because if you're dehydrated, you are actually going to feel more tired as a consequence. So hydration is key to feeling more awake and energised. My next tip is easier said than done, but patience is really important when dealing with sleep deprivation and night wakings with a baby. Young babies don't recognise the difference between night and day. They don't yet have a circadian rhythm, and they don't produce their own melatonin. Also, babies have no concept of habit or routine. So it's quite common for babies to be asleep a lot during the day and then be awake a lot during the night. Also, if you're breastfeeding, we tend to produce more breast milk at night, so your baby will be awake to be able to feed from you optimally. Now, it's only after 4 to 5 months that your baby will start to produce their own melatonin, and when they start to do so, they will then begin to enter some sort of routine, because when they release melatonin at night, it will help them to feel more sleepy, so they're more likely to sleep for longer stretches of time, meaning that you'll get more sleep. Whilst you are up a lot during the night with your baby, try to have all you need close to you, like your baby's cot, their nappies or diapers, their cleaning gear, and their feeding stuff. I always found it much harder to get back to sleep if I was awake during the night, going up and down the stairs, in and out of different rooms. It's just because when you have to get up and physically move around, your body releases adrenaline to give you energy to move around the house, especially if you're tired. But if you have everything within arm's reach, you can technically stay in your bed and not move around that much, and then your body is going to feel more relaxed, and it's going to be easier for you to fall back asleep once you've settled your baby. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope that you found the tips helpful. Let me know in the comments section below if you've got any questions or concerns about sleep deprivation, and I will try to get back to you as soon as I possibly can with my advice, guidance and support. And please check the video description box below for other videos from my YouTube channel which could help you whilst you're going through the sleep deprived period with your baby. Take care and see you again soon.